A 1:22.430. Then it's Michael Schumacher on the 1:12, and there's a very big shunt.
Well, that is indeed, that's at the exit of. Looking at it, it's difficult to tell who it is. Upside down, that car, both left-hand wheels, front and rear, are off. And we have to see the car pushed back. It's Rubens Barrichello, the man who's lying currently second in the World Championship. And that is a serious off for Barrichello. The red flag is out. The session has been stopped. And Professor Watkins straight to Rubens Barrichello, who's sitting in his car. He's now being attended. And we have just to wait a moment or two until we can see clearly what the situation is. But this very quick indeed to an incident, a heavy accident like this, heavy impact on the right-hand side of the car, as we see. And the first thing that Professor Watkins does when he gets to a driver, well, it's going through the Marlboro, yes. Literally, something in that Marlboro chicane went very badly wrong indeed, and it looks to me like something in the left front suspension, and the steering you can see, maybe that was, and a very, very big impact indeed. High up into the tyre barrier, and the advertising signs just above that. So Professor Watkins now in attendance to Rubens Barrichello. The first thing to do is to stabilize any driver in this incident. The helmet is now off. They've got neck collars, and they will take as long as they feel is necessary to ensure the driver's comfort and safety. And then finally, when they're satisfied, they can begin to take Rubens from his car.
While the doctors are working on Rubens Barrichello, getting him out of the car, let's go through the standings at the moment. Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher are first and second. Then it's J.J. Leto, Nicola Larini is fourth, Heinz-Harald Frentzen fifth, Johnny Morbidelli sixth, Carl Wendlinger seventh, Martin Brundle eighth, and Ukio Katayama is ninth. Then Pierluigi Martini and Eric Bernard, Johnny Herbert 12th, Christian Fittipaldi 13th, Oliver Panis 14th, Mark Blundell 15th, then Pedro Lamy, Bertrand Gachot, Roland Ratzenberger, and Paul Belmondo complete the top 19, and Olivier Beretta has done one single lap in 20th place. And there is 41 minutes left in this session, which will resume after Rubens Barrichello is out of the car. Well, John, a very big impact, and partly because Rubens Barrichello missed the tyre wall altogether. I mean, he just flew straight over the tyre wall, look, into the fence.
Well, fortunately, there is debris fencing there. That's mandatory around the Grand Prix circuit these days, and that debris fencing did a superb job. It not only retained Barrichello's Jordan within the circuit, it kept all the debris, or the majority of it that we can see, also within the circuit. Here we again see, and it's so quick. I mean, that's a fourth gear, probably fifth gear, almost flat out, 130, 40 miles an hour coming through there. So that debris fencing certainly preventing more serious incidents than what is already a very serious one indeed. This is just the section of circuit. Here again we see Barrichello coming through.
It looks like something broke on that car, John. I mean, it just didn't turn left, did it?
It's, to me, it looks like something on the left front suspension, maybe in the steering. It's difficult to tell. It happens very quickly, and really what you have to watch is the right front wheel to see, because it looks as if there is lock on the left front, but watching the right, you need to see it again and again. But certainly something went dramatically wrong for Rubens coming through that Marlboro chicane, and that was his first. He had just completed, in fact, an out lap, and he was on his first flying lap. So Rubens would have been on it as hard as he could do, and just coming up to the completion of that first full flying lap.
There we see all the marshals being busy getting Rubens out of the car and being very careful with his neck, John.
Just looking at the circuit, I mean, at that point of the circuit, there are curbs. Now, it is that curb that caused the car to fly. Now, curbing is on the side of a track to indicate to the driver that is the limit of the track, because if you don't have curbing there, then the tendency is for drivers to run wider and wider. But what it did do is, in effect, act as a launch pad for Rubens Barrichello, and he did, in fact, as we said, clear the tower wall, and it was only the strength and integrity of that retaining fence behind it which kept the car within the circuit, and that's, again, testament to the security and safety that is now mandatory at any Grand Prix circuit, or any circuit, in fact, running an international motor racing event.
So, well, watch it again. Wow, it just didn't turn left.
And you can see he's on the brakes. I mean, he realized probably midway through the right-hand part of the Marlborough chicane that there was something going wrong. He then, in a fraction of a second later, knew it was going wrong because it was in real trouble. There you can see the car, massive sideways impact, comes down nose first, both right-hand side suspension wheels are off, rolls over once. Rubens' arm, his right hand off the steering wheel, being flailed around, finishes up, upside down. The marshals, very quick indeed. You can see already on their way. Luckily, all the debris from the car staying within the circuit. Professor Watkins, who is in the pit lane, ready in a car. The medical centre, unfortunately, again, very close to this point of the circuit.
So now everybody being really careful with Barrichello. They just want to make sure he hasn't got any neck injury. John, there's a program which the doctor does to make sure they can actually move Barrichello.
Well, the principal thing is to make sure the driver is stable before you do anything. Helmet can at times be, in enthusiasm or in concern, be removed too quickly. And that's why people like Professor Watkins are on hand. He is the Formula One, the doctor. Nothing can be done until he arrives. We saw Rubens, his helmet was taken off, and so obviously he's lucid, but that support collar is placed on his neck as a precaution.